Never having leaked his official image, there are many unknowns about who the villain in the new Dragon Ball Super movie really is, leaving us to use the little facts we have to make an educated guess on this person's identity. But just how wrong could our assumptions about this character be? The answer might just shock you, AniFam. Let's separate the facts from the theories to find the truth about the identity of Goku's next enemy. I'm having a $500 giveaway for the AniFam members. Best way to win is clicking the notification bell. I'll wait for 3 seconds. 3, 2, more details in pinned comment and description, and 1. With so many fan theories to be found all over the internet, it's hard to remember the cold, hard truth about the new Dragon Ball Super movie. We know hardly anything about it. A teaser trailer, a picture here and there, and a brief statement from Toriyama are the only official facts we have to go by. Yet, have you noticed how easy it's been for us to give a factual identity to this movie's villain? While it may seem impossible to figure out the truth about this brand new character, based off of such a small amount of official sources, the AniFam has pieced together the secrets these few sources have unlocked. And the most valid of these sources has to be this right here. Comments providing movie details from Toriyama himself that you can find on the Dragon Ball Super movie's official website. Even though his comment was short and, for obvious spoiler reasons, vague, it still gave us 2 facts that you can use to figure out the details being hidden about the movie. Fact number 1, quote, "The Dragon Ball Super movie this time around will be the next story that takes place after the anime that's currently on TV." End quote. This is truly going to be a Dragon Ball Super movie, and that means that this one sentence just unlocked a ton of secrets. The first of which can be answered by looking at the other movies in the Dragon Ball franchise. When you compare the 8th Dragon Ball Z movie, The Burning Battles, to the last 2 Dragon Ball Z movies, number 14 Battle of the Gods and number 15 Resurrection F, you'll instantly find a huge difference. The last 2 are canon, while the other is not. Both Resurrection F and Battle of the Gods even became arcs in the actual Dragon Ball Super anime. So, by telling us that the events taking place in this movie are the next story continuing after the end of the Tournament of Power, we instantly know that this movie will be another canon one. What secrets does this unlock? Being canon to the anime means any facts revealed during the show, including things leaked from its creators, are fair game to use in predicting who this Dragon Ball Super movie villain is. Leading us right into fact number 2 that Toriyama's official statement gave to us. Quote, "The content will shed a little light on previously unexplored topics having to do with Frieza and the Saiyans." End quote. This sentence hugely narrows down our ideas on what the movie is really gonna be about. One of the biggest unexplored topics about the Saiyans was introduced to us during the Battle of the Gods arc in the anime. It was after Beerus had stopped playing so nice for Bulma's birthday and had revealed his true identity as a god of destruction. Having found no information from the people on this planet about who the Super Saiyan god that he'd been searching for could be, Beerus prepared to destroy the Earth. But suddenly, Goku appeared with a solution. Why not ask Shenron? However, his plan to save the world ended pretty miserably. By being nothing more than a legend, we were reminded that the Saiyan race has a very ancient history that has yet to be explored. And considering the entirety of Dragon Ball Super has revolved around the gods and other highly powerful beings, this is the topic just about any fan you meet is curious to know more about. I know the AniFam certainly is, so it only made sense. Even before any promotional information of the Dragon Ball Super movie had come out, we had pretty good assumptions as to who its villain would be. And just as we had thought, matching up to what we've seen in the movie's trailer, the villain has turned out to be a Saiyan. More specifically, one who knows the truth about some history of the Saiyan race. Looking at how little even Vegeta, the Prince of Saiyans, knows about their ancient history, the only person who could possibly know these details has to be someone from that ancient history itself. So instantly, our minds flooded to the moment information was leaked in this. This is the issue of a popular manga magazine that held a very important interview with Toriyama, in which he revealed many Saiyan secrets. One of the biggest being who the original Super Saiyan God was. After years and years of creating Dragon Ball content, why was Toriyama just now talking about something like this? Well, come to find out, only 14 days after this interview was released, the announcement for the Dragon Ball Super movie was made. Yup, I'm sure that was definitely just a coincidence. Clearly, the topic of the ancient Saiyans was on Toriyama's mind for a very important reason. He didn't create this random ancient character for absolutely nothing, AniFam. So do you see how easy it was for us, once the trailer had come out, to put the pieces together and believe that this Saiyan villain just had to be Yamoshi? But remember, this is a movie canon to the Dragon Ball Super anime. So when you really think about the facts Toriyama gave to us, both in his interview and during the Battle of the Gods arc, you start to notice a problem with this theory. During his interview, not only did Toriyama state that Yamoshi had a good heart despite the fact that he was a Saiyan, he also revealed the secret to a Saiyan's strength. By having a righteous heart, a Saiyan's S cells increase more than ever before, giving them the power to become a Super Saiyan and far beyond, as we've seen with Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct. Clearly, this was a connection to how Yamoshi's kind nature gave him the ability to become the first ever Super Saiyan God. And we were able to see these facts for ourselves during the anime. It suddenly made sense as to why it was always Goku, probably the kindest Saiyan to ever set foot off of planet Vegeta, who was able to reach such high powers before any other Saiyans could. But do you see the problem now? If being the opposite of evil is what gave both Goku and Yamoshi the power of a god, then why is it that we think Yamoshi is Goku's next enemy? The villain of the Dragon Ball Super movie has to be a different Saiyan. So who could it be then, AniFam? Let's see what other secrets Toriyama unlocked in his comments about the movie. Quote, "I think it will be a very enjoyable story that serves up a long-awaited formidable opponent." End quote. Long-awaited, huh? This is another reason lots of us instantly imagined Yamoshi as the villain. Who could Dragon Ball Super fans be waiting to see more than him, right? Well, let's think about this outside the box, AniFam. Although not canon, there's absolutely no way you can deny that the 8th Dragon Ball Z movie, The Burning Battles, introduced one of the most well-known villains of all time. In fact, Broly became so popular that the Dragon Ball Super staff literally created Kale in order to make the legendary Super Saiyan a canon character. Even though it was cool to see Goku fighting against a green-haired Saiyan once again, a lot of fans didn't find this or this nearly as epic as its original fight. So am I saying that the new villain is going to be Broly? Absolutely not. But there's a huge similarity between Broly and the villain we see in the Dragon Ball Super movie trailer that just cannot be ignored. That green aura. As long as Super Saiyan has been around, the color of a Saiyan's hair and aura have been extremely important details. Don't you think it's a little crazy to say this villain is emitting green aura, yet isn't a legendary Super Saiyan? So how do all the pieces fit together then, AniFam? We've got a legendary Super Saiyan villain, who's gotta be from the ancient past in order to reveal the secrets of Saiyan history, but it can't be Yamoshi. Something else that Toriyama uncovered during his interview back in December just might hold the answer. Describing the events that led to Yamoshi's sudden burst of power into a god, Toriyama explained that it all started with a rebellion. When you think about Yamoshi being said to have a good heart despite his Saiyan roots, a rebellion makes perfect sense. How? Toriyama never stated right out who Yamoshi and his friends were fighting against. He simply said that the 6 Saiyans were, quote, cornered by combatants, end quote. But by telling us that Yamoshi had a righteous heart at the time they were creating a rebellion, we're able to piece the story together and find the truth about who these combatants were. Clearly, Yamoshi and his 5 comrades didn't agree with the cold-hearted ways of their race. Therefore, they decided to start a riot in an attempt to change things for the better. Their enemies, without a doubt, had to be other Saiyans. What does this reveal about the villain of the new Dragon Ball Super movie, though? Toriyama has placed himself in a very tight spot with the creation of this villain. We all want to see Yamoshi, but how can they introduce him if he's not the villain? And how can he be the villain if he isn't evil? Plus, we want to get that feeling back that we had when we saw Goku versus the original legendary Super Saiyan Broly. There's not very many options that can cover all of these points. In fact, AniFam, there's really only one option I can think of. Goku's next villain in the new Dragon Ball Super movie has to be one of the combatant Saiyans who first cornered Yamoshi long ago, pushing him to become the first ever Super Saiyan God. Do you see how this links up to everything the fans could possibly wish for? But did you notice how this also reveals a secret hidden in the very last moments of the Dragon Ball Super anime? The answer is revealed in the AniFam's next Dragon Ball Super movie Secrets video.